Faiza, what's the question that we got asked by the young one?
Okay, you guys practice.
Okay, ask me a question. Why did we move here?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because my mom did not want to pay $800 for a house.
I am Faiza.
My name is Grace.
And I am 17 years old.
15.
On the weekend, on Saturdays, I'm at a photography filming class from like 10 to 2. And then I go shoot some photos, like do photos for people.
Well, I talk to people, but like I'm mostly like involved with school than like in my neighborhood.
I feel like this is a really great neighborhood that I live in. I've been living here for like 10 years. That's like majority of my life. And I feel like there's a stigma around this community that, oh, we're ghetto, or there's a lot of violence and all this and that. That's not true.
It was nice because nobody said no for the interview, and we got really good answer, and everybody was different. I expect them to be like, well, the neighborhood is ghetto, but instead some of the people were like, I don't like that word, or it's not ghetto as people would think.
I think ghetto is the wrong word to use. I go running at night, and I've never felt unsafe like in this neighborhood. And I remember my neighbor Marilyn, who brings me zucchini bread. She lived here for the last like 40 years, and she told me she was here when it was like really dangerous, and she's like, it's changed so much.
I looked online to see everything I could learn about it, and followed some of those links, and so I read that there had been some violence, and but it didn't deter me.
So what can we do through, using this equipment to portray a certain message that we're not what you think we are?
Well, we can show them example what we're doing in our community, like, how we have the food bank thing.
The harvest share?
The harvest share. We can show them that we do that like every month?
Every third Saturday of the month.
Yeah, and we do that, and that's one thing that we do to help our community. And the other thing, the youth groups, they really help for involve our community and not letting kids like go do something bad.
In some of my classes, I'm the only black kid, and it's kind of hard because when they talk about race and stuff, people look at me like, yeah. I'm like,
it is a great community, so I knew that was something that was gonna come up, but I didn't know they love it that much. And like diversity, I didn't know that would be a reason why people lived here.
It's community because of what it is. Beautiful and diverse and welcoming.
When I tell people why I love my neighborhood, it's because it's the most diverse neighborhood in Portland for sure. Like, I hear people speaking Somali and walking on the street, and like, you don't get that anywhere else. And so that's really cool.
I just had this assumption that if you're white, you might just want to be around other white people and live in a nice neighborhood, but sometimes you might want something different, like be around, different people who speak different languages.
I really don't know, but like I would like to make it more as in a community, like people working together, like knowing your neighbors, working with them, and figuring out like what things are good for the neighborhood.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just wish that more people would be out and open to meeting other people and talking with other people.
So there's the question that we asked, if you can change anything about your community, what would it be? And I feel like by doing this project and showing people that, we're a great community, let's just like come together.
Some people, it's hard for them to like, even though they hear that there's something happening in their neighborhood, but they're just scared of going to like talk about their community.
It's diverse, like people who are in it are not just from one race or speak one language, or like it's built with like people who came from different countries, but we always work together to not like argue, but we work it out.
That's one thing I wish I saw more in the community. And like the people that I do have the interaction with are people that are either African or either Muslim, or like that share those attributes as me. But I want to interact with my Mexican friends, my white neighbors, my Asian neighbors, and my Baha'i neighbors, my Christian neighbors.
By downtown, my school, people look at me different because I'm black and I'm Muslim. So it's kind of, and women, it's kind of hard. So people like at the Mac station, people look at me weird. Hey, do you have bomb under your dress, all that stuff. I'm like,
Somebody told you that?
I mean,
And I live in a society that says people like me are, bad and terrible people, but I feel like you just have to get to know us for who we really are rather than what the social media says.
Well, I'm a Muslim. Not everybody think that I am because I don't wear the hijab.
The religion says treat everyone the same way. Basically, you want to be treated, treat everyone kindly and respectfully.
It says to love everybody. Don't hate, don't dislike somebody just because they're different than you.
Don't paint everyone the same brush, basically. So if one person does you bad, not everybody from that certain group is gonna be like that.
So I really use that advice. Like when I see somebody, I don't judge them just because they're different from me.
I live by that every day, and I'm not gonna discriminate you just because you come from a certain race or a certain culture or a certain background. We're all one at the end of the day, and that's the human race.
You have a sign over there that says Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Why do you have that?
I got it right before Halloween, and I got it because it's really important to me.
I kind of know why she put it that Black Lives Matter sign, because I used to walk by her house and I was saying, I was like, she's not black. Why does she have that?
I don't know, the fact that she cried when we asked her about that poster, the Black Lives Matter poster, like, I knew that meant so much, and like I know that she cares. And the fact that she invited me to her home and said, oh, here's my email, here's my phone number, let me help you out with like resumes and college applications and stuff. Yeah, and like that's someone who's a friend who really sees potential and really wants to see you succeed. And in life, I just see that as like a race where the baton race, where you passing the baton. Whatever you learn, someday it's gonna be useful to somebody else. So just pass it down to the younger generation. And probably pass it down to my siblings, my friends, and it's gonna be a great use to someone one day.
Well, almost all the time when I'm praying, I always hope for me to like help kids who don't have parents, like foster kids. Cause in Africa they don't have like where you can go to a foster home and stuff. So I wanna have like one of those in like almost every part of Africa and India.
I'm working on a documentary called Somalia Made Me, Portland Raised Me. And it's through a program called the Green Lights Black Lives Matter program. And I'm basically telling my story as like, growing up in Somalia, the perceptions I had of America, moving here, what the reality was, and also just being like a Muslim and how that has changed. Along the way, I'm gonna do other stuff and like work with the United Nations one day, travel the world one day, probably have my own film come out one day that I directed.
So I want to become like an international doctor, so probably my doctor's degree in business.
I mean, I'm a senior right now, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and for sure is medicine. That's what my mind is set on.
Go to school, get people to take me seriously. I have to get loans for you. Get money.
I mean, it's very like stressful, but I know it's for a good reason. I know some schools that I knew like I had confidence. Oh, I'm gonna get in, and then like I saw that like this letter saying, "Oh, we didn't accept you," and honestly, I didn't want to be disappointed because like I know God has a bigger plan for me, and I know He didn't want me to go to that school for a good reason. So I just still said, Alhamdulillah, I'm blessed, and moved on.